I didn't let my best friend have her wedding on my property after being uninvited. So my best friend Emma and I have been tight since middle school. We did everything together, shared secrets, went through all the messy teenage drama side by side. When she got engaged to Tyler 2 years ago, I was honestly more excited than she was. I immediately offered my family's backyard for the wedding because we have this gorgeous 5-acre property with huge oak trees and a little creek that runs through it. My parents were totally cool with it, and Emma was crying happy tears talking about how perfect it would be. We spent months planning every detail. I'm talking spreadsheets, Pinterest boards, the whole 9 yards. I helped her pick out flowers, tasted cake samples until we were sick, and even drove 3 hours with her to find the perfect dress. My weekends were basically wedding planning central. I was supposed to be her maid of honor, obviously, and I'd already bought my dress and everything. Then about 6 weeks before the wedding, things got weird. Emma started being distant and would dodge my calls. When we did hang out, she seemed stressed and kept checking her phone constantly. I figured it was just pre-wedding jitters because Tyler's mom had been making her life hell with all these demands about the guest list and decorations. 2 weeks before the wedding, I get this text from Emma saying she needed to talk. She shows up at my house looking like she hadn't slept in days. She sits down on my couch and just blurts out that I'm uninvited to the wedding. Not just uninvited from being maid of honor, but uninvited completely. I'm sitting there like, what the hell just happened? She starts explaining that Tyler's family thinks I'm a bad influence because I have tattoos and work at a bar part-time while going to college. Apparently, his mom saw my Instagram and decided I wasn't the type of person they wanted at their family event. Emma said she tried to fight for me, but Tyler gave her an ultimatum. Either I go or his family doesn't come and doesn't help pay for anything. I was so hurt I couldn't even be mad at first. This is my best friend of 8 years choosing her future mother-in-law over me. I asked her if she was serious, and she just nodded and said she hoped I'd understand. Then she had the nerve to ask if we could still use my family's property for the wedding since all the vendors were already booked and it would be too expensive to change venues. I just stared at her for like 30 seconds processing what she just asked me. She wants to kick me out of her wedding but still use my backyard? I told her absolutely not and that she needed to leave. She started crying, saying I was being unreasonable and that the wedding was already planned around my property. I reminded her that I was being unreasonable, not the person who just uninvited their best friend to appease some snobby in-laws. Emma left and I immediately called my parents to tell them what happened. My mom was furious and said there was no way we were hosting a wedding for someone who treated me like that. My dad just shook his head and said he never liked Tyler anyway. The next few days were chaos. Emma kept calling and texting, begging me to reconsider. Tyler even showed up at my work trying to convince me, saying it was just for one day and they'd make it up to me later. I told him the only thing I wanted was an apology and for them to find a new venue. Apparently, finding a new location 2 weeks before a wedding is nearly impossible, especially in our small town. Emma's mom called my mom trying to guilt trip her, saying I was ruining their daughter's special day over something petty. My mom told her that if her daughter had any backbone, she wouldn't have chosen her in-laws over her best friend in the first place. The wedding ended up happening at the local VFW hall, which looks nothing like the outdoor fairy tale Emma had planned. I heard through mutual friends that it rained that day and the roof leaked in 3 different spots. Tyler's precious family complained about everything from the food to the decorations. Emma and I haven't spoken since.